Parliament's Budget Office has faulted the National Treasury for often failing to adhere to House Budget Policy Statement resolutions as a basis for the preparation of the budget. Now, the office, whose core function is to advise parliamentary committees on budget and finance matters, warns that the 450 billion Kenya shillings that's been allocated to President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy, the Big Four agenda, was inadequate. Francis Gashuri helps to put all this into context.
A month to the end of 2018-2019 financial year and the beginning of 2019-2020 fiscal year, the Parliamentary Budget Office has warned that the 6.2% economic growth projection in 2019 is unlikely to be achieved. The office says inflation is likely to go up on account of food and water scarcity due to delayed and inadequate trains between March and April this year. The Budget Office also raising the red flag on slow pace of implementing infrastructure projects and unfavorable export commodity prices. The National Treasury has crafted a 3 trillion shillings budget, with the national government allocated the lion's share. County governments and consolidated services allocated 1.1 trillion shillings. The national government will use the bulk of its resources in the 2019-2020 budget on recurrent expenditure, with development allocated just 684 billion shillings. However, the amount of money allocated to the Big Four agenda, food security, manufacturing, healthcare and housing, was inadequate according to the Parliamentary Budget Office. The 450 billion shillings allocated to Big Four agenda is 16% of the total budget. Enablers for achieving the President's legacy projects allocated 374 billion shillings, while 76 billion shillings has been set aside for activities that will drive the agenda's implementation. Agriculture and livestock, manufacturing and health have been allocated 260 billion shillings, while housing and urbanization programs have been allocated 103 billion shillings. Energy, ICT and infrastructure will get 428 billion shillings, while health and education have been allocated 93 billion and 487 billion shillings respectively. The national security docket will get over 159 billion shillings. Social protection, culture and recreation, that includes sports, will get 67 billion shillings, while environment, water and natural resources, that include construction of dams, will get 88 billion shillings. The 2019-2020 budget has a 607 billion shillings projected deficit, which the National Treasury hopes to fix through external and domestic borrowing. It will cost the taxpayer 696 billion shillings to service public debt, which is 20% less than the amount spent in the 2018-2019 budget. The highest interest payments will be due to Exim Bank of China, TDB syndicated loan, a 2018 international sovereign bond, and new loans of up to 40 billion shillings. The National Treasury will have to contend with rising pension and gratuity costs that will hit 104 billion shillings. Retired Presidents Mwai Kibaki and Daniel Arap Moi gratuity allocated 1.5 billion shillings, while civil servants, members of parliament and military gratuity is allocated 52 billion shillings. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.